Hi, and welcome to today's 15 minutes with at Dr. Zaley's desk. I'm wondering who's going to turn up today, as this is live, and I would love to and encourage you to come and have a chat with me around the table. I'm about 3 or 4 seconds late, or maybe even half a minute late, because who would like the kettle to boil quicker whilst you're waiting for it? That's what was happening. I needed my cuppa to have a chat with you, so I had to wait for it to boil because I really don't like my tea like cool or tepid. I like it piping hot. So what are we talking about today? Last week we had February's chat session with question and answer time, where we looked at the topic last month, which was on diagnosis, when you're first diagnosed. This month and each month we will have a theme. March's theme is individuals living with a facial disfigurement, whether or not you're a child, whether or not you're a parent, whether or not you're parenting a child living with a facial disfigurement. It doesn't really need to be that, it doesn't mean to be big. It needs to be important to you and focusing on you. It could be acne, it could be a birthmark, it could be a craniofacial syndrome, it could be affecting ears, microtosha, it could be golden hearth syndrome, it could be any of those sort of things. So with it, let's hop to it and think about what bullying is. What is bullying? Well, I went into an Australian website, and there, according to the Australian website that I looked at, which I can't remember which one, I think it was a government one, there are 4 key elements to this definition. Bullying must be hurtful. Now, this can be verbally, physically, or socially hurtful, or even spiritually hurtful. It should be repetitive, have a constant grind to it, unfortunately. So not only does it have to be hurtful and repetitive, they say that you have to have a power imbalance. So whether or not you're in a friendship circle, like in primary school, or in any circle of friends, really, and the power dynamics, the power dynamics, are they the same? Are they, are the people that are bullying you higher ranking than you, etc. The 4th key element is it must be intentional. So it must be hurtful, repetitive, have a power imbalance, and be intentional for the person who's doing it to you. Does that make sense? I hope so. Tips which may help bullying. Well, there are lots of things out there, like talking back to them and all that sort of stuff, but I've got 4 for you today. Be proactive, get in first, break the ice. That is, if you've got a facial, a visible difference. So instead of waiting for the bullying to happen, or presuming that it's going to happen, or getting a sense, because for those of us who have been around long enough, we get a kind of a sense, and there is an energy that people exert before you get it, and then your antennae raises, and then it could start to be, you could start to be in a bullying situation. So get in first, break the ice, which we will talk about in later months about how to break the ice and finding your story and how to better equip yourself with the tools that you already have in order to help them help you. I know that that shouldn't be the case, but in reality, that is often the case. Regardless of whether or not we like it or not, we are in a hurt world where other people hurt each other. Another tip to handling bullying is to walk away. Sometimes easier said than done, with jeers at the back of you and tossles. Another one is to tell someone that you trust. And the last one that I would like to use, especially with me rubbing and scratching my ear, very, very conscious of that today, is that you need to stay, if possible, in safe places, whatever the safe place is for you. Now, I will read my own vignette that I've published about. This is a story about my experiences as a little girl. When I was I'm just reading, I'm sorry, I haven't memorized it. When I was in primary school, I was teased. I was called horrible names like Cyclops, One-Eyed Willy, Zombie, which rhymed with Zaylee. That one encouraged conga lines of zombies to grab my shoulders and chant Zaylee Zombie or Zombie Zaylee. Didn't really matter which way. It would get rather long with many children, as many children would join the line laughing and giggling at my expense. A royal circus it was. Back then I couldn't run fast, and I can't run fast even today. But this was tested daily when lunchtime came round. I remember the stench of the toilets as I rounded the corner on the straight and narrow inside a tunnel until I turned a sharp left and slid into the girls' toilets with or without my lunch, as this was where I ate it most of the time. I was chased by kids, mostly boys, hitting and kicking me. I fell a lot. My lunch scattered to the four winds, whilst others a hand's distance away, but having the time to pick it up was another thing. I was bullied on the way to school and on the way at school, to school, at school, and on the way home from school, as the ringleader and his sidekick lived around the corner from me. I came home with black eyes, track marks up the back of my legs where they had ridden their bikes on their back wheel and dropped the front wheel down upon me, known as monos, as only one wheel is involved. Buttons off my uniform, which was optional at the time, not compulsory. Looking at the school reports, I was a very good student, doing my work, and I was courteous and kind to others. However, I was, quote, making progress with my peers. That was a direct quote because I looked through it. I had to look through all this. Never was it mentioned that they were the issue, but rather I had issues fitting in with my peers. I was the one that was sent out for help. I was the one that was forced to sit into a half partitioned and half glassed room with a teacher facing out to the main quadrangle, especially made for winter so that the school assemblies and sports could still run. Tell me a story about this picture. A little girl by herself and others not wanting to play with her. From a young age, I knew what they wanted to hear. So I would imagine a wonderful story for them instead of giving them what they wanted. Psychoanalyze that, you mugs, I've written here. Or I would just sit there refusing because all their help didn't help. In fact, it got worse, for I have not got the gift of humour. I think I've now got a little bit of it. And fobbing kids off. And the count to 10 slowly didn't work. And the go away, find a teacher didn't work. The make friends with others and run away doesn't work when you sit in the girls' toilets eating your lunch or what was left from the journey alone. The teachers knew me to be a pleasant little girl in class, but I was the one that was wrong. That was the message. I want children and adults to know that they are not the ones in the wrong, and that even though children hurt, there are other ways of handling bullies. And then I go on. So that's the vignette, or that's the little story of it. And I'm hoping that will resonate with a few of you. I'm okay with that story now, otherwise I wouldn't have publicly released it, because it's just fact. It is just a part of my life. It's just a part of my life. It's just what I've been through. My catch cry is to remember it is okay not to be okay. Just take a big breath. Let's do it together. We're going to count in for 4, hold for 4, count out for 4 using your nose, and hold for 4. It's called box breathing. You ready? Ready? Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Do it again. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. That calms your mind and allows your body and your mind and your brain to think. Remember that it's okay to practice some self-care. What does self-care look like? Might be just going out. Continue or find out whether or not you like any new hobbies or crafts or journaling or going for that hot bath or booking yourself in to go for that massage. Exercise is a good way, and using support groups. So where would I get help? How can I reach out for getting help? Amongst other places, you can go to our website where we have self-help guides and everything else for you. That website again is KARI, for Bob, U for umbrella, ANAWIM for Mary.com. Or you can access free self-help guides at karibuanawim.com/support. They are free to download. We don't expect any emails. They're free to download. And if anything has triggered you today, during our conversation about bullying, and maybe have resurfaced some old wounds or some old trauma, please practice some self-care today and reach out for help. Reach out to Lifeline if you're in Australia. Reach out to us if you'd like to. So if you'd like to connect with us, inquiries@karibuanawim.com. And next week, we will be discussing love and your love life. And what does a love life look like? And how do we receive love? And what happens there? So, same bat time, same bat channel next week at 10 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time and Friday. Thank you very much for sharing with me, and have a good day.